Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2024 GMC Canyon AT4X AEV edition. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. The third generation GMC Canyon features a dramatic look, emphasized by a bold stance, aggressive exterior styling, and an elevated interior. GMC has taken a much different approach compared to its platform sibling, the Chevrolet Colorado. They've completely repositioned the Canyon to give it significantly more standard content and a more premium demeanor. Each model sits higher and wider than the outgoing models to provide improved approach, departure, and breakover angles. A simplified, short bed crew cab configuration comes standard across the entire Canyon lineup. While the previous generation offered 3 different engine options, the new Canyon only offers one, an impressively powerful turbocharged 4-cylinder called the Turbo Max, that bests the previous engines in pretty much every way. An off-road appropriate suspension package is now standard that features an ultra-wide track and a 2-inch factory lift, which results in an impressive standard ground clearance of 9.6 inches. The new Canyon's overall dimensions are quite a bit different from its predecessor. Not only is it taller, but it's wider and longer. The new, fully boxed frame is composed of high-strength steel and a hydroformed front section. It gives the truck a 3.1-inch longer wheelbase compared to the previous frame design. The front and rear track widths grow by at least 3.5 inches. The first thing you'll notice up front is the lack of an air dam. The front axle was also moved forward to shorten the front overhang by 2.4 inches and improve the truck's proportions by giving it a more planted, level stance to coincide with the wide-body design. The subsequent improvement in the Canyon's approach angle gives it the ability to climb more vertical terrain than before, without suspension or bodywork interference. The exterior is pronounced by its high-clearance trimmed corners and the all-new integration of sheet metal for a completely unique look. The front fascia features full LED exterior lighting, relocated fog lights, and daytime running lights. The wide-body design, intricate detailing, and aggressive demeanor give it some serious attitude. I especially like the illuminated marker lights in the wheel arch moldings. A new electrical architecture provides the driver with ample control over the Canyon's advanced standard and available technology, and allows for future over-the-air updates. The 2024 Canyon is offered in 4 trims and up to 8 exterior colors. All colors other than Summit White are an additional cost. This example is finished in sterling metallic. The elevation trim, which starts at $37,395, is the only trim offered with a choice of 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. The rest of the lineup, including the AT4, Denali, and the top-of-the-line AT4X, are only available with 4-wheel drive. The AT4X starts at $55,895. It includes a factory-lifted ultra-wide track with 33-inch mud-terrain tires, Multimatic DSSV dampers, front and rear E-lockers, underbody skid plates, rock sliders, an exclusive Baja drive mode, and special interior trimmings. For 2024, a new AEV edition is now available for the AT4X. It's a $10,100 package that introduces a more assertive stance, enhanced hardware, and further upgrades to the chassis for even greater off-road capability. An updated front fascia and larger fender flares enable larger, wider tracks and ultra-high best-in-class 12.2 inches of ground clearance. The AEV edition rides an additional 1.5 inches higher than a standard AT4X for a total factory lift of 4.5 inches over a standard four-wheel drive Canyon. Heavy-duty AEV stamped steel front and rear bumpers with heavy-duty recovery points and winch-capable front bumper give the truck a more aggressive look. The rear bumper also features removable corners intended for easy removal and reinstallation when hitting the trails. 5 ultra-high-strength, hot-stamped boron steel skid plates positioned along the radiator, steering gear, transmission, transfer case, fuel tank, and the rear differential offer the ultimate in underbody protection. The addition of 3 standard auxiliary control switches enable the integration of off-road and overlanding accessories. The AEV edition also features exclusive beadlock capable wheels, 35-inch mud-terrain tires, and an in-bed vertical spare tire mount. With the extra cost color, sunroof, and the AEV edition package, this AT4X has a total MSRP including destination of $67,490. The AT4X is fitted with 17 by 8-inch machine finish aluminum wheels with black painted pockets and 33-inch LT 285/70 mud-terrain tires. The AEV edition's Salta wheels are the same size, but they're beadlock capable with laser etching, a unique spoke design, and a gloss black finish. They're also wrapped in larger 35-inch LT 315/70 Goodyear Territory mud-terrain tires. The wheel's beadlock feature is for off-road use. In short, it allows you to lock the tire's bead to the wheel so that you can drop the air pressure to a very low level. For example, anything less than 12 psi, much lower than you can do with traditional tire mounting. This increases the size of the tire's contact patch when off-roading so you get more traction, better flotation, and more. If you're interested in beadlock wheels but don't want to spring for the AEV edition, GMC offers a different set of beadlock wheels as a standalone option. That being said, there's a new standard feature on all Canyons called Air Down Mode. Accessed through the infotainment system, it allows you to quickly and easily deflate your tires for more grip when traversing off-road trails. As you deflate each tire, the horn will sound when you reach your desired pressure. The only downside is that there's no onboard air compressor, so you'll have to bring your own to refill the tires before hitting the pavement. Power-assisted 4-wheel anti-lock disc brakes with Duralife internally ventilated long-life rotors are standard. The rotors benefit from a process called ferritic nitrocarburizing, which hardens the rotor surface and makes them very resilient to corrosion and rust, along with providing quieter braking and less vibration. The front rotors span 13.4 inches while the rear rotors span 13.3 inches. They're clamped down by 4-piston and single-piston calipers respectively. With this setup, the truck is able to stop from 60 miles an hour in about 130 feet, which is about what you would expect for how it's set up. What's more impressive is the excellent feel and feedback that the brakes provide, which is not something I would have expected. The truck is very stable with hard braking and the pedal is easy to modulate. An electronic parking brake is standard, engaged via a button in the center console. The front suspension, regardless of whether you have 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, is an independent coilover shock design. The rear suspension is a solid axle design with semi-elliptic 2-stage multi-leaf springs. The AT4X, in addition to gaining an extra inch in ride height over the standard suspension, replaces the standard twin-tube shocks for advanced Multimatic DSSV dampers for serious off-road performance. DSSV stands for Dynamic Suspension's Spool Valve. Compared to traditional deflected disc valving, the spool valves within the dampers control the rate at which the hydraulic fluid flows through the damper more precisely, leading to greater consistency and predictability when it comes to tuning. The main body of the dampers house a piston and an extreme compression spool valve. The middle chamber houses the on-road compression and rebound spool valves. The third chamber functions as a fluid reservoir, separating the pressurized nitrogen from the hydraulic fluid. The front dampers also employ a separate rebound valve, which only comes into play when the suspension approaches full extension. As the piston moves during normal driving, oil is forced into the middle chamber between the two on-road spool valves through a special orifice in the body. This provides the damping needed for everyday driving. When the piston is compressed outside of its normal range, the third spool valve provides extra damping to account for high displacement wheel movement and high impact compression cycles. This means that the damper is not only velocity sensitive, but position sensitive as well. By having different damping characteristics in distinct areas of the piston stroke, Multimatic is able to avoid any kind of compromise when it comes to tuning. Also, due to the flow characteristics of the spool valves, oil viscosity has far less of an impact on performance, so they'll continue to perform as intended even as heat builds up during extended use. When asked about their life expectancy, the folks from Multimatic explain that the inherent design of the spool valves makes them far less susceptible to wear, unlike traditional dampers that degrade over time, meaning they should last as long as the truck itself. Power locking front and rear differentials are standard on the AT4X for superior off-road performance over any other Canyon. They allow you to engage the front or rear axles to lock both wheels at the same speed. With a more assertive lift and the new AEV hardware, the AT4X AEV edition achieves a 38.2 degree front approach angle, a 26.9 degree breakover angle, and an optimized 26 degree departure angle. The curb weight for this truck in particular is around 5,200 pounds. One area this truck really shines is road manners. It handles excellent and exudes confidence in every turn. Body roll is minimal. I also feel it rides better than the outgoing model. The longer wheelbase has likely a lot to do with this, but in normal day-to-day driving, the truck feels calm and composed, even with the off-road focused nature. The tires are a little noisy, but that comes with the territory. The steering is a rack and pinion setup with electric power assistance that's very precise. Max trailering for the Elevation, AT4, and Denali is 7,700 pounds. The AT4X comes in at 6,000 pounds. The AEV edition is likely closer to 5,500 pounds due to its extra weight. Max payload, of course, varies between all of the different trims and models. For the AT4X in particular, it's 1,250 pounds, and likely a couple pounds less for the AEV edition. With GMC's pro-grade trailering system, standard on the AT4X, you get an integrated trailer brake controller and GMC's excellent in-vehicle trailering app. The brake controller is integrated with the analog brake system. It helps provide measured brake force signaling to electric-controlled trailer brake systems. The app includes a trailering checklist, trailer light testing, maintenance reminders, security alerts, trailer mileage, a tow haul reminder, and electrical diagnostics. An easy lift and lower tailgate is standard, allowing for reduced effort thanks to the assist of an internal torsion bar. A new halfway position of the tailgate can be utilized when carrying long items. The tailgate also locks and unlocks with the key fob. A new multi-stow feature integrates a storage compartment into the tailgate itself. Just flip a couple of latches and lift the lid to find a generous compartment for smaller items that spans the entire width of the tailgate. It's watertight and drainable. Multi-stow can even be equipped with a kicker sound system, which would be a great addition for tailgate parties. If you look closely, there's a couple of tailgate Easter eggs. At the top edge of the tailgate, there's what looks like a mountain range. On the inside top edge, there's a ruler. The bed offers 2 indentions for bicycle or motorcycle tires, along with 4 tie-downs per side and an AC power outlet on the right side panel. The spray-on bed liner is optional or standard depending on the trim level. It's standard on the AT4X. GMC also offers a plastic bed liner with integral storage compartments on certain trim levels. Additional bed options include a soft roll-up tonneau cover, a hard folding tonneau cover, movable tie-downs, and under-rail LED lighting. There's also an optional sports bar package, which includes an off-road sports bar, a 40-inch off-road roof light bar, and an accessory power distribution box. The bed is 61.7 inches long and 45.5 inches wide between the wheelhouses. Overall bed width is 58.1 inches. Compared to the previous generation, length hasn't changed, but the bed is a tad wider. GM's signature corner step rear bumper design is standard, which makes it easy to climb into the bed. The only downside to the AEV bumper is that it doesn't have the corner steps, which makes climbing up into the bed a bit more challenging. The Canyon's 2.7-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder offers best-in-class gas engine torque and excellent overall performance. Unlike the new Colorado, which has the same engine but with 3 different outputs depending on the model, all Canyons utilize the high-output version, which develops 310 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 430 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPM. This allows the truck to hit 60 miles an hour in 6.8 seconds, which is impressive for this segment. This engine has already been used in GM's latest full-size trucks as the entry-level option. For the 2023 model year, there were several enhancements to improve performance and refinement. The changes included a more rigid cylinder block casting and a 30% stiffer crankshaft, which complemented a fully forged bottom end as well as materials used in diesel engines to deliver additional durability. The single advanced engine delivers more horsepower and torque than the previous generation's 3 engines, including the 2.8-liter turbo diesel engine. This engine is built using aluminum for the block and heads. The valve train consists of dual overhead camshafts with 4 valves per cylinder, continuously variable valve timing, variable valve lift, and active fuel management. Fuel is delivered via high-pressure direct injection. The compression ratio is 10:1. Power comes on strong and remains consistent through the RPM band. There's a wee bit of turbo lag, but once you get into the engine's sweet spot, it pulls hard. It also sounds pretty cool. It's more of a burly tone, and you can hear the turbo whistle. A second-generation Hydra-Matic 8L80 8-speed automatic transmission complements the new engine, with refinements designed to offer smooth shifting and quicker downshifts for a feeling of greater comfort and power on demand. It also excels in low-speed mobility, particularly in off-road scenarios. The final drive ratio across all models is 3.41:1. The standard console shifter offers electronic range select and a low position that offers enhanced engine braking. There's a plethora of drive modes too, including terrain mode for low-speed precision off-road and rock crawling, off-road mode for general off-road dynamics, normal mode for balanced everyday on-road driving, and tow-haul mode for optimized handling of heavy loads and towing. The AT4X gains an exclusive Baja mode, which optimizes high-speed off-road driving. The tow-haul mode raises transmission upshift points to provide more power to accelerate with a trailer or heavy load. It also raises downshift points to use engine compression to help slow the truck instead of merely braking. For 2024, the Baja mode has been enhanced to include a new launch control feature, which allows drivers to press the brake and accelerator pedals at the same time and then release the brake pedal, resulting in improved acceleration on and off-road. This smart launch control feature learns the driving surface and can adjust engine speed and torque accordingly to improve subsequent performance on future launches. When it comes to fuel economy, four-wheel drive Canyons are rated between 17 miles per gallon in the city and 21 miles per gallon on the highway. With the extra weight, larger tires, and increased ride height of the AEV edition, fuel economy takes quite a bit of a hit compared to a standard four-wheel drive Canyon, about 16 miles per gallon combined. When towing pretty decent loads, I even saw averages between 10 and 11 miles per gallon, but even though it can do it, this truck isn't necessarily made for towing, it's made for off-road driving. The Turbo Max engine uses regular gasoline, and the total tank capacity is 21.5 gallons. Without running boards, shorter individuals might find it more difficult to hop inside the new Canyon with its new design. Depending on the trim level, there's different options available. The AT4X rock sliders don't serve too well as running boards, as they're more for protection and clearance when traversing challenging terrain. That being said, GMC offers a set of removable off-road assist steps that work with the rock sliders. They're not shown on this example, but I highly suggest them to make climbing up easier, especially with the additional height of the AEV edition. The Canyon's interior is pretty nice overall, and a big leap forward over its predecessor. There's soft touch materials on the doors, the middle of the dash, and a standard leather-wrapped steering wheel and shift knob. Across the lineup, no one interior is the same. Each trim is designed with its own unique identity. The AT4X in particular features signature Obsidian Rush with ceramic white accents, faux carbon fiber trim, and special embroidery. Red seatbelts are available as a standalone option. This generation Canyon is also the first to offer a powered sunroof. It's an optional feature no matter the trim. There's a lot of new technology offered across the board, and the overall design is very clean. That being said, one thing you may or may not like are the digitized controls for things such as lighting and window lockout. It's all been incorporated within the vehicle controls menu of the infotainment system. Along with leather upholstery, the AT4X comes standard with heated and cooled front seats, a heated steering wheel, an 8-way power adjustable driver's seat with lumbar and memory settings, a 6-way power adjustable passenger seat with lumbar, wireless phone charging, and more. The front seats are pretty comfortable, offering good support and cushion, a definite improvement over the previous design. The headrests and seatbelts are adjustable. The steering wheel is manually adjustable for tilt and reach. A dual-zone climate control system is standard. The controls beneath the screen are very easy to operate. You can also operate everything from within the infotainment system. As far as storage, the Canyon offers cubbies across the center console and door panels. There's a 2-tier compartment under the center armrest. The glove box offers a nice amount of space. USB ports can be found in the front of the center console. A nice convenience feature is the express roll-down function for all 4 windows. The driver's window is fully automatic, but with the press of a button in the center stack, you can lower all of the windows at once. The Canyon offers a premium technology suite to offer an advanced off-road experience. At the center of it all is a more dynamic, high-resolution infotainment screen and driver information center. For 2024, all trims now come standard with a large 11-inch digital instrument cluster that offers a number of different layouts so you can choose what information you want displayed. From performance readouts to off-road information, a navigation display, and more. It's a really nice setup with high-resolution graphics. Also standard across the board is an 11.3-inch infotainment system with Google built in. It's extremely easy to use and is pretty responsive. It operates very similar to a smartphone by offering high-resolution graphics and a capacitive multi-touch interface. There's plenty of media options too, from standard AM/FM and Sirius XM radio to Bluetooth streaming audio and wireless-capable Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Voice-activated hands-free phone is standard, as is a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot. A premium Bose sound system that includes 7 speakers and an external amplifier is standard on the Denali and AT4X. Having experienced the Bose compared to the Canyon's standard 6-speaker system, it's a huge difference in sound quality that you can actually feel. The infotainment system also includes a significant amount of vehicle information. There's different menus for data relating to the tires and brakes, fluids and filters, engine information, and the truck's trip computer. There's an interactive display that offers a pretty cool infographic too, giving you an overview of different aspects of the truck. The off-road performance display allows you to track real-time off-road performance data, including G-force, tire pressure, an altimeter, and pitch and roll stats. There's 3 menus labeled Baja, Terrain, and Overlanding. The AT4X comes standard with GMC's Pro Safety System, which is a suite of driver assist technologies, such as IntelliBeam Auto High Beam Control, a following distance indicator, forward collision alert, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian and bicyclist braking, and an HD rear vision camera that offers hitch guidance and top-down hitch view. OnStar and GMC connected services are also included. There's 6 airbags, including frontal airbags for the driver and front passenger, seat-mounted side impact airbags for the driver and front passenger, and head curtain airbags for the front and rear outboard seating positions. Additional available Canyon safety tech that's standard on the AT4X include blind zone steering assist, rear park assist and rear cross traffic braking, a safety alert driver seat, adaptive cruise control, rear pedestrian alert, and a best-in-class HD surround vision camera system. A multicolor heads-up display is also standard. It provides you with key information like navigation, safety alerts, speed, audio, and more directly within your field of vision. Underbody cameras are optional. If equipped, you'd have forward and rearward facing cameras so you can see underneath the truck and better check clearances when off-roading. The cameras also include a wash function so they can be kept clean and free of dirt or mud. Some additional standard safety features include rear child security door locks, latch child seat anchors, teen driver, buckle to drive, rear seat reminder, and a tire pressure monitoring system with easy fill tire alert. The Canyon's rear seat, while improved over its predecessor, is still lacking in overall space. Giving credit where it's due, the rear seat is more accommodating than others in this segment, but the backrest still sits more vertical than I'd prefer. It's raked back more than the Nissan Frontier, for example, so you don't feel like you're sitting straight up. That being said, anyone on the taller side is going to struggle climbing in, especially if you don't have the assist steps. It's not the most comfortable space either, but it's certainly usable. You can seat up to 3 people, and there's standard child seat anchors. The biggest issue I had was hitting my head on the headliner. The optional sunroof is the main culprit. Yes, it's a very nice feature, but it comes at the expense of headroom for the rear passengers. To make room for all of the mechanicals, the headliner sits at least a couple of inches further down than it would otherwise. Once you're sitting in the rear seat, it's not bad, but you just have to watch your entry. I'm 5 foot 10 inches and I had a little head and legroom left over. The AT4X comes standard with a fold-down armrest and twin map pockets behind the front seats. Additional rear seat amenities include padded door inserts, lower door pockets, foldable headrests for better visibility, overhead lighting and grab handles, a sliding rear window, rear console air vents, rear console cup holders, USB device charging ports, and a lower 110-volt AC outlet for plugging in smaller electronics or appliances. Additional storage space can be found by flipping up the bottom cushions. The full-width compartment is nice, but a good chunk of it is taken up by the jack and associated tire changing equipment. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that too. And don't forget to turn those notifications on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.